safety issues that we have in schools, so that's been a big component of the second.
We are at McKinley Elementary School for an open house put on by the school district to get information out about the proposed referendum that is on the ballot November 6th for voters to decide whether or not they're willing to invest $124.9 million to renovate and rebuild our schools so that they're safer, accessible for kids with disabilities, and just up to all the standards of today's learning environments that we want to give our children.
So the tax impact for the referendum is $1.88 per thousand of property value. So if you have $100,000 in property value, it's $188 on $100,000 property value. Double that if you have a $200,000 property value. So next year your property taxes would increase by $188 if the referendum passes, estimated.
We are looking at a $124.9 million referendum to overhaul our facilities for our school district. And we're in really dire need of those upgrades.
The things to be addressed first would be the elementary schools. So there are 4 elementary schools that really are in the most need, from mechanical, ADA, safety and security needs throughout the buildings. So those need to be addressed first. And then there's also CIP, or capital improvement projects, that will be addressed for the 3 summers, so 2019, 2020, and 2021.
A lot of things, really.
All new to us.
Yeah.
Not tonight, but in general.
Sure, in general. A lot of, learning how difficult access is for a lot of our students throughout many of the buildings. Even East, which is fairly traversable, they have huge issues with the grading of ramps and the placement of ramps, things like that. We at Lincoln have a child who has to actually leave the building and go around outside to gain access to the gym. We knew about that, but we thought that was an exception, and it's not really.
Yeah.
It's kind of the case for a lot of these schools.
I think a lot of things we take for granted because we don't have accessibility issues personally. So once you start hearing what the different schools do and don't have, and you're like, wow, that is really, not up to what we would like to give our children. And safety stuff, we take for granted we're in a safe community, but when you look at how easy it would be for someone dangerous to enter our schools, once you learn all of that, you just have to do better. There's no sitting here being like, well, it'll probably be okay, or those kids in wheelchairs can manage, or we'll send them to a different school that's accessible. Once you learn these things, you just have to do something about it.
It certainly is a building that's been around a while and has had various additions and is not accessible to the disabled at all. And for example, if somebody wants to go, to the gym from some area, they've got to go outside and then come back in. Doesn't have an elevator. Some of the restrooms have stairs to get into them. So there's some issues. And this building, the main building, was built in 1929. And it appears that a new school is warranted.
I think what sticks out to me is how much the teachers in the district do and how well they do, and the amazing things they do for our kids, and even the outcomes that we have, and our school's high ratings, that they've done so much despite being in 100-degree classrooms, or having to miss days of schools because there are floods, or heat issues where it gets so hot in the classroom that it's not even safe to be there. And I think that our community should acknowledge and rally around these teachers and school administrators who are doing such an amazing job for our kids. And give them the best that we can, and invest in the schools and in what it needs, so that we can sort of be giving them our best since they're giving us their best.
What when you look at the price of homes and how much you would be paying, I think it's a good investment in your community. And if you don't invest in education in your community becomes less desirable to live in for families.